In the name of greatest consciousness in three-dimensional world, uh, let me a little make diversity in my philosophy of the Gabrielism. We go to another subject, but that is the sub branch of the total overall Gabrielism philosophy. Based on the Gabrielism philosophy discovered by me and is not proven yet, and later on we will produce scientific device to put to the experiment, and one of these experiments, the most important of the experiment will be about measurement and the consciousness fields. Measurement the consciousness field based on Gabrielism on consciousness of human being. The consciousness of the human being will travel from higher dimensions and to the lower dimensions, and this travel is limitless and is timeless. That means that this consciousness of the human being were before Big Bang and will continue travel even after destruction and annihilations of all of the cosmos. That means that based on philosophy of the Gabrielism, the consciousness of the human being come from higher dimension to lower levels, and we will arrive to the four-dimensional worlds and then enter to the fetus inside the body of the mothers, and will grown up beside the body of the human being and is the companion of the human being to the end of the life, and after death, just at the time of the death and stopping heart from beating forever, the last beat of the heart or heart of the human being, the last beat is equal to uh, exit of remained field of the consciousness from body. So the last beat make the last blood pressure in the body, and at the same time exactly the consciousness field will exit from this point of the head and go forever and start this start the cycle to go up and up in higher dimensions, and reincarnations will happen during the travel of the consciousness. I have to make very detailed meetings and conferences and sessions just speak about the reincarnation, that is the sacred beliefs of the Hinduism and many other religions in Asia. Reincarnations will happen in the common point of the traveling of consciousness of the human being, and that would be very interesting. and mysterious why 1 billion people believe to this truth. Reincarnation is a truth, and 1 billion people in India at least believe to reincarnation. So consciousness exists before the birthday and exists after the death for every human being, and consciousness will enter to the body of the human being at the time that a human is inside the mother. In the consciousness will go to the fetus and will grow with baby and will grow with human being, and at the time of death start his long permanent travel to higher dimensions. Um, the only being that I don't want, the only human being, there is the only human being who uh, go further than nine-dimensional world, very further, and that was the gift from Almighty God. I don't want, because I don't want to people call me selfish, but I will describe. Um, I discovered the philosophy of the Gabrielism because that was my direct experiences. For example, reincarnation is my direct experiences, so I can tell something new and decisively about my memories about, for example, reincarnations. And I am not joking. And about the consciousness, I can promise to physicists. However, a promise is meaningless for physicists because you must prove by reasoning or mathematics. Even you prove by mathematics, you must explain in the laboratory. So all the promises in the science, especially for physicists, is meaningless. But I want to ensure them someday that will be proven even by using laboratory devices. As soon as we make and produce quantum cameras, then we can calculate the field of the consciousness, and then if we can recognize the field of the consciousness, we can evoke consciousness, and we can communicate with the dead people consciousness. Also, we can communicate with oscillating consciousness. Uh, the consciousness of the Jesus is oscillating, and later I will explain the oscillating consciousness, the oscillating great consciousness of the Jesus can be related with the quantum physics, and we will show you the joint space of the and joint line, joint border between physics and metaphysics. About the consciousness, I want to finish soon. Uh, this consciousness will grow up, and the field always want to be bigger and bigger, but sometimes we lose let me describe in the detailed detailed live conference. I want to speak about my experience and my definitions, and how this consciousness travel the speed of the consciousness. Because if we suppose that For example, five-dimensional world is so much vast. Why that is possible for consciousness to come to us from the distance that is absolutely huge. For example, 100 billion light years consciousness come even about 100 trillion light years far from us. But the point is, this consciousness use quantum tunnels to pass from the distance space and come to our being, and after the death will go the same, not the same way, but like a circle, like some circuit, go to higher dimensions, and a lot of reincarnation will happening to the consciousness of the people during their journey in these circles. So these circles leads to incarnations that experienced by many Hindus during, especially a lot of high level spiritual masters of the Hindus. They also believe to incarnation because they experience it, these state. So the reincarnation, I just want to finish my video, want to say that reincarnation is the stations of the station of the consciousness during the endless travel that every consciousness of the human being has to pursue this circuit. Later on, we will talk more efficiency and detailed about the consciousness. I hope this be a little fun and we have sometimes to get far off the technology and science, but later we will give you a bridge between metaphysics who talk about this subject, for example, reincarnations or soul and everything. First, we need to make tools about measurement of the consciousness. Then we can zoom on the dead people because this camera and scan can see and record the consciousness field. Later on, I will describe why some more detailed camera are more quick than our eyes, and our processing system inside our brain. And we have processing system in our brain if we see some pictures, that is processing of our brain, and the entrance of the and entering data from outside to our brain is the cooperation between our eyes and our processing system inside our brain. So even if we have some camera that can take 100 picture a second and join this picture together to make movie, but our eyes just can absorb 25 picture per second, and that is the natural deficit of our cognitive system. So we have problem, and we can quickly, after describing for you all the philosophy of the Gabrielism, you will understand that we can change our structure inside our brain and make more precise processing data. So we will be achieved to great, unbelievable success, and these will lead to major other consciousness that we we don't have any scientific and proven information about those. We just read some some books and we say that was the fiction and that is not reality, and we are right because we must prove everything. Otherwise, that would be just for fun and spending time to for nonsense. We must make nonsense to sense and sensible and reasonable, and that would be possible after proven scientific experiments. Thank you so much, and that that would be my last program today. I will go and join to some live program, physicists, cognitive system scientist. My pleasure. We want to improve the people, all of the disease. We want to help to each other to help other needy human beings. If I arrive in Britannia, I will establish healing center for people using metaphysics to heal every other disease. God bless you all. Thank you.